Hoy vamos a repasar los verbos regulares y el simple presente. Vamos a ver la diferencia entre ser y estar. Hoy vamos a hablar también de las diferencias entre tener y be. So we have a little disconnect between these two verbs, between Spanish and English. So we'll talk about that today. Vamos a aprender el presente progresivo, las personalidades también. Okay, so just real quick, a review of the simple present tense with our regular verbs, because we've been working a lot with these ser and estar verbs, so it's good to go back here and review the regular verbs as well. Remember, to converse in Spanish, you need to be able to make questions and then answer them, right? ¿Tú llevas una blusa? Sí, yo llevo una blusa, o no, no llevo una blusa. The simple present tense is what we use to describe regular activities, daily routines, facts, and then permanent and temporary states of beings, okay? So we've got three regular verb types in Spanish, verbs that end with AR, ER, and IR. Let's review these now. With our AR verbs, the rule is you actually drop that AR ending, and then according to the subject, you add back these endings. So the yo form will end with o, the tu form ends with as, the third person singular ends with a, nosotros amos, if you're in Spain, vosotros ais, and then ellos, ellas, or ustedes would be am. So when we put it together with a verb like hablar, this is what we get. Can you go through this full conjugation for us, Sky?
Yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, ella habla, ustedes habla.
Careful. It's not ustedes. Yeah, just usted. Good.
Usted habla. Nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos hablan, ellas hablan, ustedes hablan.
Muy bien. So conjugate, let's practice conjugating three of these verbs each. Okay, so well, let's just do three in total. So Carly, give me one of these verbs. First, let's go through this list to make sure you understand all of them. These are some of our really commonly used AR verbs. So we've got charlar.
Small talk.
Yeah, to chat. Revisar.
I don't remember that one.
To check.
To check, to review, yeah. Apuntar.
No sé.
To write down.
Right.
We actually learned this on our very first day of Spanish class on the activity with the phone numbers, and I say, write down my phone number, apunta mi número. Escuchar.
Listen.
Listen.
Comprar.
To buy.
Ganar.
To win.
Yeah, ganar has a double meaning, actually. It can mean to win. It can also mean to earn money. I've always liked that because it makes me feel like I'm winning money when I'm working. Spanish. Much better than earning my money. Okay, llevar.
To wear.
To wear. It can also mean to take and to carry. Comunicar.
Communicate.
Regresar.
Remember.
Not
Or come back.
Return.
To return or to go back, yeah. Trabajar.
Work.
Preparar.
Prepare.
Visitar.
To visit.
Perfecto. All right, so Carly, can you conjugate one of these for us?
Yo charlo. Tú charlas. Él charla. Ella charla. Usted charla. Nosotros charlamos.
Yeah, and you can skip vosotros if you'd like.
Okay. And then ellos charlan. Ellas charlan. Ustedes charlan.
Muy bien. Sky?
Yo reviso, tú revisa, él or no, I did that wrong. Tú revisas.
There you
Is
go.
that right? Él revisa. Ella revisa. Usted revisa. Nosotros revisamos. Ellos revisan. Ella revisan. Ustedes revisan.
Muy bien. Carly, one more.
Yo escucho, tú escuchas, él escucha, ella escucha, usted escucha, nosotros escuchamos, ellos escuchan, ellas escuchan, ustedes escuchan.
Muy bien. Ok. Vamos a practicar. Uno, Sky.
Yo charlo con mis colegas en español.
Tú revisas el correo electrónico.
El asistente apunta los asuntos importantes en la reunión.
Los empleados escuchan al director
Ejecutivo.
Say it again, or repiten.
Ejecutivo.
Ejecutivo.
That's a tough one. Alberto gana en buen salario.
Mariela y Julieta, ¿sí?
Julieta.
Julieta regresan a sus oh my gosh, cubículos. Cubículos.
Yo compro los materiales de oficina.
Mis compañeros de trabajo llevan trajes elegantes.
Verónica trabaja 12 horas al día.
Tú preparas el reporte para el jefe.
Los vendedores visitan a los clientes.
Yo estoy en la oficina.
Muy bien. Now take turns asking each other these questions. So Carly to Sky.
Sky, ¿bailas con frecuencia?
Frecuencia.
Frecuencia?
Ahí.
Ooh, it's early.
No bailo con frecuencia. Frecuencia.
Yeah. So
Or
in
is
this
it
situation,
frecuencia?
don't ask her donde if she doesn't do it, right?
Yeah. Where do you not do it? Everywhere.
Carly, ¿hablas con tu familia frecuentemente?
Sí, hablo con mi familia frecuentemente.
Frecuentemente.
Frecuentemente. ¿Dónde compras los víveres?
Víveres.
Víveres.
¿Qué significa víveres?
Groceries.
Oh, okay. Compro víveres a la King Supers.
In King Supers.
En King Supers.
La ropa.
Compro la ropa, or do I say mi ropa?
Compro la ropa.
Compro la ropa en, what is this? Comercial. Centro de comercial.
Centro comercial. En el centro comercial.
En el centro comercial. Carly, ¿bailas salsa?
Sí, bailo salsa con mi esposo.
Mm-mm.
¿Cantas en la ducha?
No canto en la ducha. ¿Escuchas a Ricky Martin?
No escucho a Ricky Martin. ¿Ganas la lotería?
No gano la lotería. ¿Tocas algún instrumento?
algún is any. Sí.
Uh-huh.
Okay. No, no toco algún instrumento. ¿Regresas a casa después de clase?
Sí, regreso a casa después de clase.
Aren't you already in your house during class?
Oh, I thought is, do I go back to my house after class?
That's what the question is, but aren't you
Oh, yeah.
already in your house?
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of our conversation class, but no, you're right. So,
It's like, this isn't my house, actually.
so I would say, estoy en mi casa ahora.
Yeah, so here you could say ya estoy en mi casa.
What was it? Ja?
Ya means already, right? So you could say no regreso a casa porque ya estoy en casa.
Okay. Carly, esquías en Vail? Esquías en Vail?
Número 10.
Oh, ¿trabajas por la noche?
No, no trabajo por la noche. ¿Esquías en Vail?
No, no esquío en Vail. Vail es caro, right? ¿Visitas a tu familia por las fiestas de Navidad?
Sí, visito a mi familia por las fiestas de Navidad.
Muy bien. Okay, so ER endings look like this. Same rule applies, only we're adding back slightly different endings, right? So you drop the ER from the end of the verb, and then you add back O for yo, es for tú, el, ella, or usted would end with E. Nosotros hemos. If you're in Spain, you could end it with vosotros habéis. And then the third person plural ends with in. Okay, so it looks like this. Can you go through this example for us, Sky, for comer?
Yo como, tú comes, él come, ella come, usted come, nosotros comemos, vosotros coméis, ellos comen, ella comen, ustedes comen.
Muy bien. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. Conjugate 3 of these. First, let's go through and make sure you understand them all. So we've got beber,
Drink,
comer,
eat,
leer,
read,
aprender,
Learn,
correr,
run,
vender,
sell,
prometer,
no sé,
to promise,
to promise,
prometer.
prometer.
prender,
No sé.
to
So
turn on.
On.
Yeah, good, Carly. To turn on, like to turn on the television, to turn on, to start your car. Romper,
So to
No.
break.
to break. Responder,
Respond.
Answer or respond.
to answer or to respond. Good. Deber,
No sé.
to owe, like to owe money. And then we also use this like to say to should do, like should do something, right?
Mm.
Cometer,
So to commit.
to commit, like to make a mistake, to commit a mistake. Okay, so let's conjugate 3 of these. We'll start with you, Carly.
Yo bebo, tú bebes, él bebe, ella bebe, usted bebe, nosotros bebemos, ellos beben, ellas beben, ustedes beben.
Good. Sky?
Yo aprendo, tú aprendes, él aprende, ella aprende, usted aprende, nosotros aprendemos, ellos aprenden, ellas aprenden, ustedes aprenden.
All right, good. Carly?
Let's see. Yo comito, tú comites,
Careful, it's not comito, it's cometo. Cometo.
cometo, cometes, ¿sí? Comete, él comete, ella comete, usted comete, ¿sí? Nosotros cometemos, ellos cometen, ellas cometen, ustedes cometen.
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 There you go. Ok. Muy bien, vamos a practicar. Sky, número 1.
Nosotros bebemos café en la reunión.
Ellos deben revisar los contratos.
Los aprendices leen las políticas de la empresa.
Los pasantes aprenden mucho en el trabajo.
Yo como el almuerzo con mi patrona.
Mi colega corre a la reunión porque esta tarde.
El proveedor vende muchos productos.
Yo no prometo nada a mis jefes.
Daniel prende la computadora.
Los abogados rompen el contrato. El contrato.
Los agentes de servicio al cliente responden con mucha paciencia.
Los oficinistas son puntuales.
Muy bien. All right. Good job. Pregúntense las preguntas aquí.
¿Comes la comida mexicana?
Sí, como la comida mexicana. ¿Bebes mucha agua cada día?
Sí, bebo mucho agua cada día. ¿Bares todos los días?
¿Qué significa bares?
To sweep. Do you sweep every day?
Sí, sí, baro todos los días. ¿Lees el periódico de ayer?
No, no leo el periódico de ayer. ¿Aprendes a tocar la guitarra?
La guitarra.
Guitarra.
No, no aprendo a tocar la guitarra. ¿Corres por la mañana?
Do I say sometimes es algún veces?
A veces. A veces.
A veces corro por la mañana. ¿Vendes algo?
No, no vendo algo.
And in the negative, you'd say no vendo nada.
Oh, no, no vendo nada. Nada. ¿Qué me prometes hacer después de la clase? Después. That sounds right. Okay.
So what do you promise to make after the class?
What do you promise to do after class? Yeah.
Oh,
That's a question I should actually ask you, right? As the teacher. Teacher to student, ¿qué me prometes hacer después de la clase?
oh, gotcha. Okay, so prometo estudiar después de la clase.
Mhm.
¿Siempre prendes una luz en tu casa si es de noche?
Sí, siempre prendo una luz en mi casa si es de noche. ¿Rompes platos de vez en cuando?
So break the plates.
Do you break plates sometimes? Every now and then? De vez en cuando is like saying every now and then.
Okay, de vez en cuando. Sí, rompo platos de vez en cuando. ¿De quién te escondes?
¿Qué significa escondes?
To hide.
So who am I hiding from?
Uh-huh.
Esconde mi gato. He's in a mood.
Me escondo de mi gato.
Me escondo de mi gato.
Muy bien.
Cosas, no. Cometes muchos errores en la vida.
Sí, cometo muchos errores en la vida.
Muy bien. Entonces, our last regular verb type is the IR verb, ending with IR. So we'll replace the ending with yo, o, tú, es, él, ella, usted, nosotros, imos, vosotros, is, ellos, en, ellas, en, or ustedes, en. So nosotros and vosotros are the only deviations from an ER verb pattern. Okay, can you go through this pattern for us, Carly?
Yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, ella vive, usted vive, nosotros vivimos, vosotros vivís, ellos viven, ellas viven, ustedes viven.
Muy bien. Entonces, let's go through these verbs. Vivir,
Live,
Live,
escribir,
to
write,
asistir.
assist.
That's what everybody thinks. It's actually attend. To attend, like to go to class, to attend class, to go to a game. Recibir,
Receive,
decidir,
decide,
interrumpir,
to interrupt,
interrupt,
discutir,
argue,
abrir,
so open,
to open, good. Definir,
define,
fine,
cubrir,
no sé,
to cover.
to cover,
Subir,
no sé.
subir means to go up.
Does that mean like literally like as in like an elevator or like an escalator? Like to go up? Okay.
Imprimir,
Is this one print?
it is, good, Carly.
Print. Haven't printed anything in years. Can throw that one out.
Okay. Bien, entonces, conjugate 3 of these. We'll start with you. Who wants to start? Sky?
I think it's my turn.
Okay.
Yo vivo, or she just did that, sorry. Yo escribo, tú escribes, él escribe, ella escribe, usted escribe, nosotros escribimos, ellos escriben, ellas escriben, ustedes escriben.
Muy bien.
Yo discuto, tú discutes, él discute, ella discute, usted discute, nosotros discutimos, ellos discuten, ellas discuten, ustedes discuten.
Perfecto. Sky?
Yo recibo, tú recibes, él recibe, ella recibe, usted recibe, nosotros recibimos, ellos reciben, ellas reciben, ustedes reciben.
Perfecto. Carly, número 1.
Ella vive lejos de la oficina.
Nosotros escribimos cartas a los socios.
El gerente asiste a las reuniones siempre.
Ellos reciben demasiados correos electrónicos.
Los supervisores deciden despedir a un empleado.
Mi secretaria nunca interrumpe.
Interrumpe.
Interrumpe
It's a hard one, yeah.
una conversación.
Los clientes discuten la cotización.
Muy bien.
¿Qué significa?
Cotización
Sí.
is a quote,
Quote.
like a bill, an invoice.
Okay.
So the clients are arguing about the quote, the bill, the invoice.
El almacén abrí a las 9.
It's not abrí.
Sí. I'm stumped.
Well, you've just done it a bunch of times.
I know.
It's look at number 1. What's the ending? It's not ending. A. Abre.
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 Abre. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. El abogado define los detalles de contrato.
Bien.
Los trabajadores suben en el elevador.
All right, you were just asking me about an elevator going up, Carly,
Mm-hmm.
on the last slide. So that's elevador, that's elevator.
Mi compañera de trabajo cubre el día viernes porque es mi cumpleaños.
Mis colegas imprimen los informes.
Muy bien. Nice job with that. Skye, Carly?
Oh, ¿escribes poesía?
Sí, escribo poesía. ¿Dónde vives, Sky?
Vivo en Denver. ¿Asistes a cada reunión en tu oficina?
Reunion is meeting here.
Mm-hmm.
Sí, asisto a cada reunión en mi oficina. ¿Recibes noticias buenas todos los días?
No recibo noticias buenas todos los días. ¿Qué imprimes durante tu día de trabajo?
No imprimo durante mi día de trabajo.
Yeah, no imprimo nada.
No imprimo nada durante mi día de trabajo.
Muy bien.
Siempre aplaudes. Aplaudes para los artistas.
¿Qué significa aplaudes? Oh, okay.
Un aplauso to applaud.
Sí. Siempre aplaudo para los artistas. ¿Consumes vino con la cena?
Sí, consumo vino con la cena. ¿Combates con tu pareja demasiado?
No combato con mi pareja demasiado. ¿Abres la puerta para los viejos?
¿Qué significa abres?
To open.
Oh, sí. Abro la puerta para los viejos. ¿Discutes mucho en tu trabajo?
No discuto mucho en mi trabajo. ¿Interrumpes a tu patrón en una reunión?
No interrumpo a mi patrón en una reunión.
Muy bien.
¿Qué decides hacer este fin de semana?
Sí, decido hacer este fin de semana.
So the question is ¿qué?
Oh, what did I decide to do for the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yo decido trabajo este fin de semana.
Decido trabajar.
Decido trabajar este fin de semana.
Gotcha. Muy bien. Okay. Which means qual means which. Typically speaking, so we saw this back with the first, on the first lesson, I think, when we were talking about the word what. There's a little disconnect between Spanish and English with the way we use what. But which is typically when we're given some sort of an option, right? So we're going to use that here in Spanish too. All right, take turns asking each other these questions.
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
¿Cuál te gusta más, el fútbol o el fútbol americano?
Me gusta el fútbol americano. More, so más. Would that be at the end? Or me gusta más?
Me gusta más.
Me gusta más el fútbol americano. ¿Cuál prefieres, el verano o el invierno?
Prefiero verano. ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito?
Mi restaurante favorito es, that's hard. Cheesecake Factory. I'll just commit to that for the rest of the class. ¿Cuál es tu color favorito?
Mi color favorito es azul. ¿Cuál es tu equipo favorito?
Mi equipo favorito es baseball.
So equipo means team, not
Not sport. So my favorite team.
By the way, speaking of baseball, my hometown Heroes won
The
last.
Braves, yeah. First time in forever. So mi equipo favorito es the Yankees. El Yankees.
Oh my God.
You've seen me with the hat. I know.
I don't know if I can
Bandwagon it. I'm not gonna say the Braves now.
I don't know if I can continue working with you, Carly. I thought the hat was because you like New York, not because you like the Yankees.
That's cute. My papa likes the Yankees. You know, you can't let down your papa.
How do you become a Yankees fan being from Oklahoma? That just doesn't make any sense at all.
We didn't really have teams.
No, yeah, but I would think you'd go for like either the Rockies,
like the Astros or
the Cardinals or something. Está bien. Okay, entonces. So this is a pretty important thing here, right? Here's another disconnect between the Spanish and English language. So when we talk about conditions, we almost always use the verb be in English, right? So we would say something like, I am cold or I am hot. Spanish, however, does not do this for certain, and these are pretty much, there's about 10 of these or so, where in Spanish, instead of using the verb be, you have to say you have something, okay? So in Spanish, we'd actually say, I have cold or I have heat. So you'd say, yo tengo frío. So let's go through this list here. Repeat after me. Yo tengo frío.
Yo tengo frío.
Yo tengo calor.
Yo tengo calor.
Yo tengo sed.
Yo tengo sed.
Yo tengo hambre.
Yo tengo
hambre.
Yo tengo sueño.
Yo tengo
sueño.
Yo tengo prisa.
Yo tengo prisa.
Yo tengo suerte.
Yo tengo suerte.
Okay.
Yo tengo miedo.
Yo tengo miedo.
And then, so to say I'm right about something, you say yo tengo razón.
Yo tengo razón.
And to say you're wrong, you just make that negative. No tengo razón.
No tengo razón.
For age, you say yo tengo 20 años.
Yo tengo 20 años.
Años.
Muy bien. ¿Tiene frío?
No. Tiene calor.
¿Tiene calor?
No. Tiene frío.
¿Tiene sed?
Sí, tiene sed.
¿Tiene hambre?
Sí, tiene hambre.
¿Tiene sueño?
No. No tiene. No tiene. Oh, sueño is sleepy, right?
You're right. Just finish the finish
No
the
tiene.
sentence.
No tiene sueño.
There you go. ¿Tiene sueño?
Sí, tiene sueño.
¿Tiene prisa?
¿Qué significa prisa?
To be in a hurry. Is he in a hurry?
Oh, sí, tiene prisa.
¿Tiene miedo de las serpientes?
¿Qué significa miedo? I'm assuming it's yes.
Is he scared of
Scared,
snakes?
miedo. No, no tiene miedo de las serpentines, but he should be.
¿Tiene miedo de las serpientes?
Sí, tiene miedo de las serpientes.
1 más 1 es 3. ¿Tengo razón?
No, no tiene, you, no tiene razón.
No tienes.
Tienes razón.
1 más 1 es 2. ¿Tengo razón?
Sí, tienes razón.
¿Ella tiene 20 años?
No, no tiene 20 años.
¿Tiene vergüenza?
¿Qué significa? ¿Es vergüenza pregnant?
No. Is she embarrassed?
Oh, no, no tiene vergüenza.
This is kind of I like to bring this up because embarazada is to be pregnant in Spanish, and it sounds like embarrassed.
Oh,
Vergüenza is actually the word to be embarrassed. Yeah, take turns asking each other these questions.
¿Tienes frío, Carly?
No, no tengo frío. ¿Tienes sed?
No, no tengo sed. ¿Tienes hambre?
Sí, yo tengo hambre. ¿Tienes calor?
No, no tengo calor. ¿Tienes sueño?
Sí, yo tengo sueño. ¿Tienes prisa hoy?
No, no tengo prisa hoy. ¿De qué tienes miedo?
Is this scared again?
Yeah, what are you scared of?
Oh, what? Oh, okay. So what am I scared of? So it would be tengo miedo de, ¿cómo se dice spiders en español?
De las arañas.
De las arañas. I want to forget
Yeah.
that. Siempre tienes la razón.
No, no tengo siempre la razón.
No tengo la razón siempre.
No tengo la razón siempre. Oh yeah, I don't have to be right all the time. Or I don't have, I'm not right. Okay. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
Tengo 24 años. ¿Estás embarazada?
No, no estoy. Oh, would that be estoy embarazada?
No
Yeah,
estoy embarazada. Mhm.
No estoy embarazada.
Yeah, so that's the are you pregnant?
But this one's not, that one wasn't to have, like,
Yeah, this one, exactly. Right.
okay.
Okay, to be or not to be. Ser o no ser. So just a quick recap. ser is, in the easiest way to think about it, understood to describe permanent states of beings like la casa es grande, versus estar being used to talk about temporary states of being. La casa está sucia, right? The house is big. That's a fairly permanent state of being. The house is dirty. That's an extremely temporary state of being, right? So I use these examples because, sure, you can change the size of a house, right? Sky, I'm sure you especially know that, being an architect, right? You can do an addition to a house and make it bigger. You can do a demolition and make it smaller. However, you're not going to very easily change that state of being back and forth, right? It's not like the house is going to be big today, small tomorrow, and then big again by the weekend. Whereas a house being dirty, you know, I've got a 5-year-old son, and this is just the story of my life right now. I'll spend all day cleaning up, and then he comes home from school, and it's like Hurricane Davisito comes through the house, and it's a complete catastrophe again, right? And then I clean it up again, and it's clean. So that's a little bit, because there's this gray area, right? Sometimes the way we think about things as being permanent or temporary isn't necessarily the way it is done in Spanish, right? So that's kind of helpful for me to think about it as being able to easily change back and forth. So let's practice here. So the fun stuff here, you kind of have to choose if it's ser or estar for this activity. Let's start with you, Sky.
Yo estoy profesor de español.
Yo soy profesor de español. So if we remember, ser goes with the doctor acronym. And one of those O's is occupation, right? So job, profession, what you do for work. A teacher is always a teacher, right? Here's our gray area, I suppose. We can change careers, you know, but it's not very easily done, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you're an architect, Guy. Once an architect, always an architect. You could go do something else for work, right? But you're still an architect.
Okay.
Right.
Yo soy profesor de español.
Go ahead, Carly.
Ellos son los maestros de mi hijos or mi hijo.
Muy bien.
Tú es una secretaria buena.
So you've got the right verb. What?
Está.
Wrong verb now. you had the right verb first, just the wrong conjugation. What goes with tú?
Oh, tú eres.
There you go.
Tú eres una secretaria buena.
¿Qué significa guapos?
Handsome.
Handsome. I don't feel like that would be permanent. Hang on. Nosotros estamos guapos.
It's gonna be somos guapos.
Yeah, somos guapos.
Again, think about the state of being changing back and forth, right?
Okay.
Someone that's handsome is typically always handsome, right? Sure, maybe with age or whatever, you know, that can change, but it's, you know, you're not going to be handsome on Monday, ugly on Tuesday, and handsome on Wednesday, right?
Sometimes I go through it.
It's a gray area. It's a gray area for sure, but you know, yeah.
See.
No, there is, so just so you know, because you're not entirely wrong with your thinking on this one, right? If you use, some of these can be used with ser or estar, and it just slightly changes the meaning. Yeah. So if you were to say nosotros estamos guapos, instead of saying we are handsome, we're now saying we look handsome.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Like, so imagine you're going out and you're all dressed up, right? Yeah. And in this sense, it's like it can be used to give someone a compliment.
Okay. That makes sense.
You're not entirely wrong with that state of thinking, but in the generalized sense of the word, like guapo, bonito, lindo, whatever, it's a fairly permanent state of being.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Sky.
El soy de Caracas.
Right verb, wrong conjugation.
El eres de Caracas.
Wrong conjugation again. Yo
Um,
soy, tú eres, él.
El es de Caracas.
He would be El padre es católico y muy humilde. Humilde.
Mhm.
Humilde. ¿Qué significa humilde?
Humble.
Humble. Okay.
Rubia is red-haired.
Ruby is blonde.
Oh, blonde. Okay. Florencia es rubia y bonita.
Tú eres estadounidense.
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 Nosotros somos estudiantes de español.
Muy bien.
Usted es muy amable.
Muy bien. All right, same thing here. Choose between ser and estar.
Las alumnas universitarias estamos en la escuela hoy.
Right verb, wrong conjugation.
Oh,
Estamos is we, nosotros.
right. So están.
Don Pablo está deprimido en estos días.
Muy bien.
¿Qué significa estos?
En estos días is like saying in these days
En these
currently.
days, sí. Estos.
La recepcionista es enojada con su patrón.
Now you've got the wrong verb, but the right conjugation.
So she's permanently in love with your boss.
She is not permanently in love, and enojada also does not mean in love, but rather
Angry at. So it would be, so I want to use estar. And it would be no, she is estar. I don't know.
Yo estoy, tú estás, ella está.
Está.
La ropa de los empleados están mojada.
Okay, what is the subject? Are we talking about the employees?
Okay, so the clothes, so está mojada.
Yeah, because la ropa is actually what we're talking about. La ropa is singular in Spanish.
Sí.
Los materiales de la oficina está en los gabinetes de aquí.
Están. So again, what's the
They.
subject? It's not the office, it's the supplies, the office supplies.
So it's they. So están. Okay.
Mi oficina está cerca de mi casa.
Mis colegas están emocionados por la conferencia anual de la semana que viene.
Muy bien.
Las jovencitas están desilusionadas con sus novios.
Muy bien. You got it.
Yo estoy incómodo.
nosotros estamos cansados después de un día de trabajo muy largo.
Muy bien. All right. So the first two slides were kind of trick slides, right? The first one was all ser, the second one was all estar. This one you really do have to choose between ser and estar.
You're gonna need about half an hour.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sky.
All right, so Daniel, I want to use ser. He está. No, I'm using the wrong one. I don't know all the conjugation for ser. I
Yo
wanna say-
soy, tú eres, él es.
Daniel es alto y guapo.
El hombre está aquí.
El libro no está aquí.
Good.
Yo no soy médico. ¿Médico?
¿Qué significa castellano?
That's another word for Spanish.
Oh, okay. Spanish. El castellano es una lengua importante.
Yeah, because in Spain, they actually speak a few different languages. So the form of Spanish that's spread around the world is what's called Castilian Spanish. So that's what that's a reference to.
Okay.
Like, I think we talked about this the other day, Carly, Catalan.
Sí,
They
catalán.
speak Catalan in Barcelona. And Catalan, you know, people call it a dialect, and I would disagree. I would say it's a different language, you know.
Mm.
A dialect you should be able to somewhat follow just as long as you're familiar with the language. Like, you know, what people call Ebonics here in this country, you know, is like the street talk or whatever. Like, I speak English and I can follow that, you know, or we speak American English and then there's British English and we can communicate with each other, but I can't talk to somebody that speaks Catalan, like, at all. So I would say it's a different language altogether. I'm not sure how it's classified as a dialect, but what do I know?
Las muchachas no son altas.
Muy bien.
Las estudiantes están cansadas de la universidad.
Good.
Mi novia es de Perú.
Bien.
Mis amigos eres en Colorado?
Wrong verb, wrong conjugation.
So I want to say they are in Colorado and that's permanent.
Why would that be permanent? I can get on a plane and go to Georgia and then get on a plane again and go to California. Like, that can be very easily changed.
Okay, so I'll use Estar.
Yeah.
And I want to say, so Estan in Colorado?
And remember the place acronym for Estar. The first two are position and location.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So would it be Estan?
Están. Yep.
Estan? Okay.
Nosotros estamos emocionados por aprender español.
Muy bien. Okay, nice job with that, right? Okay, so we didn't have enough time to get into this today, I don't think. Let's see, what time is it? 7:57. Yeah, we just have a few minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and teach it to you. I don't think we'll get to practice it. So the PLACE acronym, it stands for position, location, action, condition, and emotion. And this is what we use to help us better understand the verb estar. So this third one we haven't learned yet. We've learned the other ones, but the action we haven't. This refers to what we call the present progressive, right? ¿Estás estudiando español? Are you studying Spanish? Sí, estoy estudiando español. Yes, I am studying Spanish. So this is the action that's in progress. And for this, we use the verb estar versus ser. So it's a direct translation with English. It's just specifically going to be used with the verb estar, right? So we started this class talking about the present simple, which is, yo enseño español. I teach Spanish. That's a generalized statement. It's a fact. It's a daily routine. Whereas the present progressive is to talk about something that is happening. Algo está pasando. El maestro está enseñando. The teacher is teaching right now. It's happening in this very moment. And we need two things to make this. We need the verb estar, and that's the verb that we're going to conjugate based off of who is doing the action. Then we also need what's called the gerund, the gerundio. And that's like our ing form of the verb. So to make the ing form with Ar verbs, we again take away the Ar ending. This time we add back ando. So this ando is essentially meaning ing. Hablando then would mean talking versus talk, right? So we've got 75 Ar verbs. You don't have to learn all of these. Eventually you will need to know all of them, right? But I believe these should be in the book. So feel free to start kind of going through these and incorporating them in your studies. These are all regular Ar verbs. Give me 3 of these, Sky, in the ing form.
Acabando, aceptando, andando.
Perfecto. Carly?
Cortando, llegando, usando.
Perfecto.